Hey, welcome back to the channel. In my last video, I talked about uh, big reasons to me why people leave the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. I gave 4 reasons why, and I got a lot of feedback, and I appreciate it. A lot of you put in the comments why you left, how you left, when you left, and even got some emails also. One person commented, I don't remember who it was, but it was a key point, and I remember it because it's true. One big reason a lot of people leave also that I didn't include in the video was the internet. People are on the internet now more than ever, and they're able to access information like never before. So that I appreciate that comment. That was a true, that's a real true thing there, that a lot of people are leaving because of information on the internet. A couple of people commented that, you know, they had peak publishers last year or peak baptisms or something like that. And Watchtower will tell you how many people are coming in every year getting baptized. But what they don't tell you about is the people who left, how many left. So you have to do your own little research on that and find out how many leave. It's estimated about 115 to about 120,000 leave every year. You can look on Pew Research, that's PEW Research, or jwfacts.com, where you can find that information there. In this video, though, we're going to talk about a few reasons why Jehovah's Witnesses, the ones who remain in the religion, why they stay. Now, it is estimated that only about 34% of Jehovah's Witnesses are actually born in. The majority make up those who are converts later in life. And so the reasons a lot of people stay, in this video, I'm going to discuss why a lot of them stay, but from both aspects, those who were born in and those who got into the religion later in life. The number one reason I think a lot of people stay in the religion is the fear. Fear is a very strong emotional tactic that's used to keep people in, but specifically the fear of being disfellowshipped and then therefore shunned. Now it's called removal, but same thing, you get it. Now they can say hi to you or invite you to a meeting, but it's virtually the same thing. You're basically, the emotional and the social costs are great. You are cut off from family and friends, and you are not able to really live a normal life like you did before when it comes to social interactions. Because as a witness, you don't really have relationships outside of the Kingdom Hall or the congregation. So all of your social interactions are mainly from people inside. So a lot of people have relationships that they don't want to end. And so they may doubt, they may question certain things that's going on, but they don't want to really disagree or make too much noise because they don't want to end up getting disfellowshipped and, of course, losing those relationships. Especially for those who are born in the religion, you know, you got to think, like, if you're in a house with your family your entire life and all of a sudden you're told, hey, if you step outside this house, you can't come back in and we're not going to talk to you no more. It's like, what? But that's what disfellowship is being like. It's like being literally, you're cut off from everybody. And nobody really wants that because a human need is to have interaction with people. For those who are adults, find themselves getting into the into the religion later in life, it can be like meeting a new family, a new group of people who are like, oh man, they nice. These people nice. They love bombing you, and you know, and they telling you we got your back no matter what. And then later you learn that, oh wait a minute, no, they are my friends as long as I continue to stay here. But if I find out some things that I disagree with or things that seem odd or doesn't make sense, I can't really question it, because if so, I don't want to be disfellowshipped either. It's not so much about losing the belief system. It's about losing basically every single relationship that they've built, and they don't want to lose that. Another reason a lot of people stay in the religion, a second reason, is because of the indoctrination. The indoctrination, me specifically being born in the religion, for a lot of people that's born in, it becomes part of your identity. Everything who you are is made up in this religion. Everything you're told to be, how you're told to think, and every aspect of your life to a degree is from this religion. It's like a fish being born in a fishbowl, right? And the fish doesn't know anything else outside, don't know about the lakes and the ponds and rivers and oceans and seas. And basically you're told that anything outside this bowl is death. It's going to mean death for you. So guess what? That bowl is the world. That bowl is his whole world. That's all he knows. So as a witness growing up, it's all I ever knew. And a lot of people born in, you don't know anything else. You're not allowed to really research and look up other things because you're so busy with the information that you're getting from Watchtower, from the governing body. They're feeding you so much information, you can't keep up. So you don't have time really to think about anything else. So that indoctrination and that core identity of who you are really is strong, and that keeps a lot of people in. Even if they have doubts, they're like, this is different, but you know what? Hey, I'm rolling. I'm not leaving. I'm not going nowhere. And for those who are adults and they may come in later in life, right? It's like it's almost like you can look at it as like an investment, like a spiritual investment, maybe, right? They sacrificing a lot. They're going to give up holidays, birthdays. They're going to give up family relationships. They're going to be, putting in time, energy, giving talks, meeting, service. And so over time, they're like, man, I switched up my whole life and gave a lot to this. And so they also take on this new personality or this identity of being a witness. And then when they find some leaks or holes in the religion, it's almost like, they got doubts too, but they don't want to lose their investment. They want to get a return on their investment. They put in so much time and energy in already. They don't want to feel like they just wasted a lot of time. So a lot of them may stay in for that reason. Now, the third reason a lot of people stay in is another tactic of fear, and that is the fear of Armageddon. Armageddon, if you look on JW Library, the JW Library, where they research, you can look up all their information and their publications. Just type in the search box, type in Armageddon. You're going to get over 2,300 results of Armageddon. That's right, over 2,300. It's one of the most searched words, I believe. It's one of the most used words, in all the publications of Jehovah's Witnesses. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society made sure that they drilled Armageddon into you so that you believe that this day is really coming. It's like being told that there's a fire coming, but you got to stay inside this building in order not to get burned by this fire, because this fire coming, and you believe it. Especially born in, oh man, Armageddon was every thunderstorm. I talked to somebody recently who I grew up with in the organization as a kid. Our parents were both in it. And she recalls, she said, and this is no prompt from me or anything. This is just her words. It's funny because it's the same words I have and other people have. As kids, thunderstorms were scary because you really thought this might be Armageddon. And she says even as an adult now, she's shook by thunderstorms. You know what I mean? It is that strong, the fear of Armageddon coming. And the belief that only people in this Jehovah's organization, in this religion or this cult, these are only people that are going to survive. So you can't, it's like a guilt trip almost. You can't, you don't want to mess up and get destroyed at Armageddon. You don't want to do that. So you'd just rather stay, even though they flip-flopping on doctrines and stuff like that. I think of Watchtower sometimes, like they got that logo of Watchtower, like they should change that to a spatula. You know what I mean? How they be flipping beliefs and doctrines. It's almost like flipping an omelet or something. Just be flipping. Delicious. Delicious. And a lot of people still would just go with the flips. They'll just flip and flop too. Like, oh, okay, we'll go this way. We'll go. They'll go right with it because they don't want to lose relationships. They're indoctrinated. They don't feel like they want to waste they don't want to feel like they've wasted time. And Armageddon is like a real fear because it's repeated over and over and over. And when you read articles and when you answer at meetings and go and listen to talks at conventions and assemblies, Armageddon is coming. You just hold on, just wait. Like, what's his name? Stephen Lett said once, the governing body member a few years back, he was like, we're in the final part of the final part.
Or making clearer than ever that we're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days, shortly before the last day of the last days.
Definitely the last part of the final part. It was something like that, but it was like, come on, man. And for people who got into the religion later in life. They converted later. Because remember, about 65% of witnesses are people who converted later in life. A lot of them, I'll say it like this. It's like a lot of them come in when there's like this turning point in their life, or there's this low period in their life. Like maybe a storm of life may be happening. It may be from addiction, maybe heartbreak, maybe a death in the family. Matter of fact, I remember being a witness, and we were instructed to return to people. Like, right, if they don't accept right away, call on them later, because you never know, their situation may have changed and something may have happened in their life, and that's when you can get them. They don't say it like that, but that's the gist of it. It's like they might be more inclined to listen after a tragedy or something happens in their life. They might be more open or susceptible. Susceptible? Is that a word? But anyway, you know what I mean. They might be more inclined to listen because of what's going on in their life. So a lot of times people will come into this religion at a low life, and not a low life, at a low point in life, and they believe in this Armageddon, and they fear being caught when this Armageddon does arrive. And so it can be hard to leave for them. The last reason, number 4, and to me this is the biggest one, and that is, and I say that because of my family, my wife, a lot of people that are still in it. I think a lot of them really, they may not say it out loud, but they question stuff on the inside. But they're not going to say nothing out loud because of that sense of community they have, that sense of belonging, that support group they have. It is hard for, especially when people have relatives, parents, children, siblings, cousins, who are all in it together. It can be very difficult to want to try to leave that and break those. You don't want to break those relationships because those people mean a lot to you. So you don't want to leave them. So you just stay in.
Just as the penguins huddle together for protection from the intense winds, we need to huddle together with our brothers and sisters for protection from Satan's system around us. That means we need to be where our brothers and sisters gather, at the meetings, attending in person if at all possible. Then we can strengthen them by means of our comments and our conversations. When Jehovah's Day comes, we don't want to lose any one of our dear brothers or sisters because they got discouraged and gave up along the way. So right now is the time to encourage them. When we are spiritually strong, we'll also be...
But what bothers me is how those relationships that they care about, the people they care about, those relationships are conditional. They're not unconditional. They are conditional as long as you don't question or disagree. And for people who come in later in life, they convert from maybe because something happened in their life again, there was some kind of tragedy maybe or something. And, they may feel like, well, this is almost like a second chance I'm getting. I've found a group of people. Everything seems to be fine. And then later on, they learn that, oh, this is not what I realized it was. But now it's almost like too late because if I leave, I'm going to lose all these people that I got attached to. So you can't really question or disagree because if you do, you can be out of there. And a lot of people don't want that. So these are my reasons why I believe a lot of people stay in. A lot of people also stay in, I believe, because of titles and positions they have. That's big, too, for a lot of people because a lot of witnesses are high school educated and not many have, ordinary jobs. So that authority a lot of men have, a lot of the titles that women may have and men, they may not want to lose that. They got some clout. They got something going on, and it gives them a sense of purpose. And so people might stay in, and no matter what the governing bodies say, no matter what rule change comes, they are just going to stay in, and that's it. And they'll defend it. They'll defend tooth and nail what their beliefs are. It says this right here in the Bible. But they won't research and question their own Bible or their leaders and the things they tell them. And the fact that the governing body won't apologize for making mistakes, which to me lacks all humility. Like when you make a mistake, you should admit to it and apologize for it. But they won't do that. The leaders won't do that. And so, a lot of people take on, to me, the arrogance of the leaders, to me, is kind of shown in some of the people. I felt this way before, like I was better than a lot of other people because I got the truth. I got the truth. So if you slam the door in my face, sure, hey, Jehovah gonna get you at Armageddon. You know, a lot of people feel like that. They feel like they're a little bit better than others. Not everybody. And again, on this channel, I'm not just bashing witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses, the people, are some great people. There's some bad apples in there, of course, like in everything else. But a lot of them really just follow the leadership, and they take on the characteristics of the leadership. And they're just misled and trapped. That's all. It's like they're blinded. I was once that way, and I can get it. I understand. It's some people in that religion that I miss. It's some cool people in there. But you know what, though? Hey, if it's conditional, then it never really was all that solid to begin with, if you ask me. So I'm good with being my real self, my authentic self, and my goal is to help people wake up. Wake up, use your critical thinking skills, use the scriptures. Just use the scriptures. Just use the beginning. Just look at the early teachings of this cult, this religion. Look at the early teachings. The foundation of it is on sand, bro. It's not solid. It is shaky as all get out. And these are just some men who just claim. They just claim that they are the faithful and discreet slave that's talked about in the Bible. I could tomorrow wake up and say, you know what? I had a dream or a vision, and I'm the faithful and discreet slave talked about in Matthew 24. Now, I could eloquently say it and maybe put some words together, and people may be like, he got some good points. Maybe we'll follow him, because people will follow. But you're really just believing in the man who made a claim. You don't know. You really don't know. You really just don't know. So I know I'm getting on and on with this, but those are the reasons I believe a lot of people stay in the religion is the fear. Fear is big. Fear of Armageddon, fear of being disfellowshipped, the indoctrination, how strong that is also. It takes on your whole identity, and also that sense of community, that belonging, that brotherhood they have. You know, people don't want to lose that, so they'll accept flip-flopping spatula, flip-flopping eggs. They'll accept the changes in doctrines. No big deal. If they tell them to shave the beards, they'll shave them off. They tell sisters to stop wearing pants, they'll stop wearing pants. But they don't want to lose those relationships, and the fear is real. And those are my opinions and beliefs on why a lot of people stay in. So thank you for being here again. Of course, always, please leave your comments. If you know some reasons why people stay in a religion, or if you've experienced it, please share in the comments. Or if you can't share in the comments, feel free to send me an email that is in my description of my channel. And as always, thanks for being here. And remember, stay free from them cults.
All I can say is ooh la la, ooh la